Oh no, you're not, are you? Oh no. Oh, so you weren't listening. You were too busy looking at Ed's arms. So I stumbled across this video titled "This is Why Everyone Hates Vegans" by Odin's Men, and I thought it'd be interesting to have a little look at precisely why everybody hates vegans. So he begins this by kind of splicing together a little cringe compilation at the start, and I'm not really too interested in that, it's just a bit of, well poisoning, just to kind of display the cringe from the onset, which, fair enough, but I want to get to Odin's actual views. So let's have a look.
So I get it. Some people don't want to eat meat, but why do vegans always want to push it down on you? Why are they so triggered and off-putting to the rest of us? Let's take a...
Okay, so firstly, why are they so triggered and off-putting to the rest of us? Of course, vegans are saying that something that is a social norm is wrong. So that's just off from the onset. Like, it's never really nice to hear that you might be doing something wrong, or something that you're engaging in is distasteful for whatever reason. So that's probably why it's so off-putting to people who aren't vegan. And secondly, to answer the question of why we want to shove it in front of everyone, we want to make everyone else vegan and do all this, it's because veganism isn't about vegans, it's about the animals. If you're someone who's against the murder of humans, it's not enough for you just to not murder. You want other people to not murder. You see that as a wrongdoing. So if someone else then murders, then that's a problem. It's not about, oh, well, I didn't do it, so it's fine. It's the fact that it happens in the first place, that bad thing. And what we're talking about is the animal exploitation and killing.
Gander.
Hello, Ben Shapiro. This is for you. My name is Miss Katie. I'm that vegan teacher. I don't know if you know who I am, but I've done a whole pile of videos about you, basically trying to convince you to be vegan, to not be a hypocrite, to live in line with your own morals, to think about the poor innocent pigs who are chambers in the same way that your people were.
Yes.
Plus never ended for the animals. I'm here to try to encourage you to stop promoting meat products on your channel. It is abhorrent that you do this.
Now this right here is why people hate vegans. They make hyperbolic statements. They're always trying to connect the dots.
Where's the hyperbole? We're talking about, trillions of animals being killed, like trillions. Like, more animals are killed every single year than humans have ever existed on this planet. So in quantity, you've got this mass killing, more so than in any other species. It's not hyperbole, but there's a lot of emotion attached to the word Holocaust. In fact, people often neglect the fact that there have been multiple Holocausts that have happened. If you say Holocaust, people think of the Holocaust. So there's a lot of emotional attachment to that word, but there's no hyperbole there. If we actually look at what happens, in fact, on a quantity level, it's a really massive thing that is happening.
The things that none of us can relate to. Now, all of a sudden, she's going to tell Ben Shapiro, don't eat meat because it relates to your people in 1942. Can you see how this can be off-putting? Why people despise vegans?
I could see why it would be off-putting for multiple reasons. Firstly, there's a lot of emotions attached to that word. People might worry that, okay, well, if you're saying that, then you're taking away from the Holocaust or something like that. But what vegans are saying, because they are the people, we're the people who are against animal exploitation and killing. So we are opposed to that. So you can infer from that the Holocaust or any other Holocaust that has happened is a terrible thing because we are against killing of sentient beings. I could see why people wouldn't like it, but a lot of the time as well, I think part of it is they want to be emotional on behalf of this thing so that they can detract from the actual message, so that they can kind of be like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Let's pay attention to that one word instead of actually paying attention to the message that's being spread.
Talking about the zealots, of course. If you're average, everyday ham and egg or soy boy, no one really gives a shit.
It's not food, it's violence. Please think of her name every time you see somebody's body on a plate. Her name is Snow, and she just wants to live.
So imagine this, you're sitting down at a restaurant enjoying a nice piece of meat. These people walk in, they're screaming, crying. You're like, I just want to eat my food here. I don't care if...
Yeah, imagine what had to happen to the animal to become steak. Yeah, it'd be kind of annoying for someone to come in and disturb your meal, but when we're talking about, what actually had to happen to an animal in order for them to be on somebody's plate, can we really be like, oh, oh, the poor person, you know, having their meal disturbed. Let's look at the entailments of that steak being on a plate. An animal was brought into existence, separated from their family, confined, exploited, mutilated, and then they were sent to an early death. And many things happened during that short process that would be traumatizing for an animal. It's weird how we kind of want to make victims out of like people eating their meal, but we don't want to address, you know, the true exploitation, the true torture, like the worst action that happened in this entire process. And they're trying to draw attention to that. So yeah, it'd be annoying, but I couldn't imagine what would be more annoying than being brought into existence to be exploited perpetually for my body and then killed. That'd be pretty annoying, you know?
If you're vegan, you should do that. But I want to eat my steak.
Yeah, you want to have a steak, but currently that entails rights violations. Maybe one day you can have your lab-grown meat and that wouldn't entail a rights violation. But we go through life, we do things, okay, and we want to be left alone for the most part. But if we're doing something that harms somebody else, then yeah, that's grounds for someone to intervene and be like, hang on, well, you can have a moment of being inconvenienced because look at what you're doing.
Relax. I don't want you screaming and yelling and crying like a complete lunatic.
Well, yeah, and you probably wouldn't want to be exploited, mutilated, and killed, you know? You probably wouldn't want those things. Those things are probably quite a lot worse, aren't they? If you think this is wild, if you're watching this, just think about it, okay? We're talking about animals, we're talking about sentient beings. We are animals as well as human beings. What is the relevant moral difference between them and us and these other animals that would justify exploiting and killing them, putting them through this? If we were talking about a human steak, a dog steak, a cat steak, a giraffe steak, you'd maybe have something different to say. But because they're a cow, that's their body part, apparently they don't matter. And I want to know what it is about them that makes them so lacking of value that they can just be a slab of flesh on somebody's plate and their life didn't mean anything. I'd like to know.
Candy.
My favorite candy. Most candies without gelatin in it. Nerds.
Name one. Name one.
Nerds, Sour
Make
Patch
us name
Kids.
one.
Sour Patch Kids.
Okay, those aren't vegan.
Have you noticed they're always so self-righteous and intellectual?
People are always like, where do you get your protein?
Tell me, bro.
Leafy greens are actually one of the highest foods in protein on the planet. So I'm vegan and I eat leafy greens.
Let me see if I'm tracking here. Leafy greens, spinach, kale are the highest in protein on the food pyramid.
I mean, I don't think I've ever heard someone say that unironically. So if this person is being unironic, then wow.
That's where you get all your complex amino acids, leafy greens. Somehow or the other, I think the education system is failing us.
What's your favorite restaurant?
Well, I think so, yeah, but I'm hoping you don't think that that is something that vegans typically believe. We're looking to other foods like beans, nuts, seeds, things like seitan, all these other foods. Please don't tell me you're taking this view and applying it to vegans, like, as a whole. I really hope not. That would be pretty bad faith.
I go to Taco Bell all the time.
What do you get at Taco Bell?
I get a crunch wrap, but swap out the beef and get some beans in there. Also swap out the sour cream and the cheese.
You know what I've noticed about the vegan crowd? They're the no fun crowd. You go to a restaurant, they have to swap out the whole dish for something that doesn't exist.
I've been known to be a whole lot of fun, so I don't know what the bloody hell you're talking about. This video was 2 months ago. He's talking like somebody who made a video like 10 years ago. No, you can go loads of places. There's going to be vegan exclusive restaurants, vegan exclusive vendors. So many places now have a vegan option that you don't even need to bother swapping things out. And you're going to act like vegans are the only group of people who swap things out. What about people with allergies? What about people who don't like certain foods? Oh, just so not fun, guys. When they go to order something, they take out the bits that they don't want and add things they like. I love that. Hi, yeah, I've come to get some food. Yeah, what would you like? I'd like the fries, please, but can you just not add the pepper and maybe add some extra salt? Mate, you are no fun. Like, you're literally so unfun. Like, the fun is zapped out of the room every time you order.
They have to talk about it. Instead of just saying, okay, I'm vegan, I'm going to go out, I'm going to eat my shit, not going to get people engaged with it. They have to talk about it. How do you feel about that steak? I'm like eating it. I feel great, bro. How do you feel about it? It just never...
Are you okay? It just seems like emotional rambling. When they communicate, like, they talk and, like, they want to talk about how they feel and, like, oh, I feel great when I eat a steak.
never ends. These people have no off button. They have no filter, and they're always so self-righteous that it makes you sick while you're eating.
I think he does think we're genuinely a monolith. Oh my god, he's gone down a rabbit hole, man.
I was wondering, I don't see any dog meat here. That's the latest thing. I thought this was like a meat restaurant, yet I don't see any dog meat here. It's steak, but steak is made out of cow. And I see you've got chicken, which is obviously chicken. And I see you've got pigs here, but you don't have dogs here. So I'm wondering why you don't have dogs. Why is there no dog meat? That is, you've got the other meats. I don't understand it.
You're disgusting. What do you think you are? You're just a coward. You're a fucking coward. You're a slime piece of shit. You're embarrassing yourself. What am I gonna do? Nothing. You're gonna die on your own without fucking...
Oh, it feels good. You and your small pussy way of killing animals, and it feels good.
It's so funny because he thinks these people are a monolith, but you can see other people part of this not doing the exact same thing. I don't know how it doesn't clock in his head that, like, there are going to be some people who express their distaste or their disgust in one way, and others who, express it another way. I don't know why that's not computing for him.
All right, you always got the trolls, which are fun to watch. And this guy shows up at a vegan protest eating some street meat. But the people are so pissed off. Like, they know he's trolling, but they just can't get over themselves.
Wait, so the people are so pissed off, there's one person shouting. Are you watching the... You've got the video in front of you. Like, what's happening, man?
They want you to do their thing.
Yeah, we want you to stop contributing to the exploitation and killing of other sentient beings. You probably think that it's wrong to exploit and kill other sentient beings, or you probably have a specific animal who you think, no, yeah, you shouldn't exploit and kill them. That would be up. But would you be able to establish a relevant moral difference between them and these other animals that would justify it in one species but not the other? I highly doubt that. But maybe you have the magical explanation that justifies it. I'd love to hear it.
Otherwise, they will scream and yell at you and browbeat you into submission. That's the goal. But most of us just don't care. Like,
I'm a vegan. I don't shout at people on the street. I know vegans who don't shout at people on the street. And if they do, like, I'm pretty sure there's going to be certain things that you would think, oh yeah, no, that person's justified in shouting at that person. Do you think in any context, no matter what's happened, it's completely wrong for someone to shout at somebody? Is that the problem? And he's talking, as if, people are being forced by the vegans, but you've got someone there turning up to a protest with the corpse of an animal in their hand. Like, yeah, we're doing a great job of forcing people, aren't we?
Eat your vegan stuff, more meat for me. But they just cannot get over themselves. They are narcissistic lunatics.
Well, there won't be more flesh for you. If more people are going vegan, there's going to be lower demand for these products. And then, eventually there'll be a lower supply. And then that will mean that it will be more costly and will be harder to access. So not necessarily more meat for you. And narcissistic, I mean, you're just showing your distaste for a group without kind of demonstrating, where the hell the narcissism is. Veganism isn't about vegans, it's about other animals. Of course, a narcissist could cling on to any kind of virtue movement, any movement that has this kind of idea of we're trying to help people. You see this basically in any virtue movement whatsoever. But yeah, just to say, oh, they're narcissistic, it's just a word that gets thrown around all of the time in place of an actual argument, which, I'm yet to see.
Who have to make you do their thing, or else.
Or else what? At worst, you get shouted at. At worst, someone goes, "You're a dickhead." Oh, wow. Or else. If it was such a problem, I'd expect something more threatening, like, I don't know, being gassed, being tortured, mutilated, exploited, killed in these many ways, like being gassed, having your throat slit, bolt gun in the head. Oh, no, wait. That happens to the other animals. Ah, that's the thing the vegans are against. Ah, that's the thing you pay for. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Just making an update of how I look right now. I like to make these updates just to know how my body's changing. I'm fascinated by it. This is after almost a year of only eating fruits.
Still recognize the reality that the life of a non-human animal, the life and liberty.
All right, is this guy your
wait, why did he just randomly bring up that video of that person who was like underweight? Is this what it is? You just taking like, I'm sorry, wait, what? Do I look underweight to you. I mean, if you really want to play this game, then let me just show you like Neymar Delgado, Torre Washington, Lifting Vegan Logic, Hench Herbivore. Oh yeah, we're all dying. Yeah, good one.
Classic soy boy vegan telling us how healthy he is and how righteous he is and how much of a bad person you are because you want to eat meat. This is like
God, this guy's fucking salty. So you have this soy boy here who doesn't have the body type that I like, you know, trying to tell us that something that we're doing is wrong. Who's he think he is?
book ID of a vegan who knows more than you.
Well, yeah, on this topic we do, because you wouldn't have an argument to justify the exploitation and killing of other sentient beings, would you? Like, you absolutely wouldn't have one. I would invite you to do so. I invite you to have a conversation with me if you wanted to. We could discuss, you know, whether or not you know more about this topic. There's going to be loads of other things that you know over us, but yeah. We understand this topic. We had to go through the hard work of actually trying to justify this, you know, because once upon a time, we weren't vegans for most of us. And this kind of concept came along, clashed with our philosophy, and then we had to understand the argument. So yeah, we do know more than you on this topic specifically.
Of a non-human animal is worth far more than human temporary.
Wait, hold on. Look at the flag in the back.
Taste pleasure.
Oh, no, you're not, are you? Oh, no, you're not, are you? You don't do it like that, do you? Oh, no. Let me take this time to proudly say, I'm a lesbian!
So it was kind of hard over the years trying to find a good vegan floss. It's waxed with something, but it's not beeswax. So that will be the biggest thing that will make floss not vegan. It'll be coated with beeswax.
Help me understand. If you're a vegan, why can't you have beeswax in something? The bees are doing it. They're getting the honey. The bees aren't hurt by the project. But you can't. These people get so militant on everything. It's like, that could come from an animal.
Yeah, so given the understanding that bees are sentient, you know, we're taking a product from them, we're exploiting them. And you know what, allow me to insert some clips of this information to contextualize exactly why honey isn't vegan.
In the commercial honey industry, however, there are several unethical practices that are carried out on bees, including instrumental insemination, where typically between 8 to 12 drones are crushed to death and have their semen extracted from them. The queen bee is then restrained and has the semen injected inside of her. The queen bee will often either have one or both of her wings clipped, which is done as a means of identifying the queen bee, but also to prevent swarming, which is where a single bee colony will split into 2 or more distinct colonies. This is seen as bad for business as it reduces the honey production from that hive. Furthermore, when the hives have been harvested for the honey, they are often culled for the winter, as it is cheaper to kill off the entire hive than it is to make sure they have food during the winter months. Bee farmers will often cull hives who aren't displaying the right temperament as well. There are a number of ways that beekeepers will cull bee colonies, which include sealing off the hive and then pouring petrol into it.
Albeit I've got leather trim in my Tesla, that could come from an animal. Albeit I've got leather trim in my Tesla, that's okay.
If you buy the Tesla outright and you're buying a brand new, you know, product and it's got leather, that wouldn't be vegan. There's the case for, okay, if it's secondhand, then you haven't actually purchased into, you know, a rights violation. Your purchase hasn't entailed a rights violation in that context. If for someone like me, I just don't want someone's skin on my products, so I will avoid it, even if it's secondhand. But it's still technically classified as vegan because you're not, you know, contributing to exploitation and killing of animals.
But I can't have beeswax on my dental floss. And let's get back to reality for a second. Do you think it's really beeswax on dental floss? It's not some petroleum-based product?
Well, sometimes it literally says beeswax. That's why, yeah, you look up for the vegan one. What do you mean? So he's acted like vegans are being hypocritical, but hasn't established how. And then he's acting like beeswax isn't actually in some floss. Okay? All right.
People have lost their mind.
I'm going to be showing you.
People have lost them. Can't make such a weak case, okay? And then to say that other people have lost their minds, okay? Don't throw stones in glass houses, okay?
You everything that I eat in a typical day as a fit vegan. Let's give it a little taste test.
Oh, he is one of those, isn't he? Okay. Are you a homophobe? Are you a homophobe? Okay. We've made a comment about the pride flag. We've zoomed in on a mannerism. Yeah.
Because I know as a vegan, there's a lot of things that I can't eat. When you take your first bite, you should really close your eyes and you should savor it.
Okay, so I'm starving. Just got ready. I'm very hungry.
Someone saying they're starving. Do you know it's like a thing to get hungry, right? This is so bad. This is terrible. Yeah, okay. This is brilliant. This is cool. This is why everyone hates vegans. And he adds a clip of someone going, I'm starving. With the comments about vegans combined with the comments about queer people, I hope you hate me, okay? I must be your kryptonite, bitch. I must be like the worst person in your view. I'd still talk to you, okay? If you want to talk to one of these disgusting soy boy gay vegans, then I'm all ears, man. Like, you just let me know.
I am very hungry. We're vegan.
We're gonna be vegan soon, so eat that pie while you can.
Wait a second. So you're making a kid vegan who needs complex amino acids, the full spectrum, right? Now I get it. You can supplement acids, the full spectrum, right? Now I get it. You can supplement your diet, but is it working? Do you know any vegans who look like the picture of health?
Oh my god, you're talking about health and then like going for appearance. That's not how this works. The scientific literature demonstrates that a plant-based diet is suitable for even children. We have the data there, and you're like, yeah, doesn't really work though. I've never really seen a person who's vegan who looks okay. Bearing in mind there's more than just diet that plays a role in appearance, and secondly, you can't be trusted to look at a group of people you actively despise and tell us what they look like. You can't do it. There's too much emotion there for you to be reliable.
And when you're growing, don't you think you need those proteins and fats you get from animal products?
Where the hell have you read that the flesh of animals is a biological requirement of the human body, even in childhood? I'd love to know.
I've seen these vegan children, and they always end up getting taken away from the parents because they look.
This is delusion. This is actually delusion. He's saying every child he's seen who has a vegan parent has been taken away. In what realm? He's talking about people have lost their minds. You know, we need to get back to reality. Well, I don't know what fucking planet you're on, mate. Like, what's it?
Look emaciated.
Sometimes as vegans, it feels like we're stuck in some sort of Groundhog Day, where every single day we have to get up and talk to people about soy farming and the environmental impacts of soy farming. And unfortunately, today is no different, because today's video is about the
He's really zooming in on Ed's arms. Like, you want to look at mine? Like, I got nothing. Like, oh, sorry. If only I'd had the flesh of other animals, I'd be fine.
environmental impact of soy farming.
And the crazy part about the vegans is they complain about you eating animals, then they fight with each other about farming, so I need my...
Oh, wow. So we're not a monolith. So we fight each other. We have disagreements in a group, conveying that we have different ideas and different
my wheat and my soy, but it hurts animals somehow because this little rat ran across the field and they farmed it and that rat got hurt.
No, that's not vegans fighting each other. That's non-vegans bringing up crop deaths, though. That's the only time it gets brought up, because they want to talk about how animals are killed in crop production, but they don't bring up any substantial data to demonstrate, you know, how many animals are actually killed. Secondly, they don't even hold the view of degrees of separation where you're responsible for every action. Like, be it if you have a delivery coming and somebody in the delivery car ends up hitting someone on the road, are you responsible for that death? Those people would say no, but they still somehow think that vegans are responsible for crop deaths, even while somehow forgetting that crops are also used to feed farmed animals, and animals are killed to protect animals in animal agriculture. But yeah, no, I haven't ever fought with a vegan about crop deaths in my life. The only time crop deaths has been brought up is when a non-vegan thinks that they have a point. And yeah, Groundhog Day falls apart every single time, but they keep going with it.
So we shouldn't use farm equipment to get the soy, and these people have no idea how to actually grow anything. They're walking to their own death with the hangman noose in their hand with a smile on their face.
So let's get started.
Where on earth have you heard that? Is this going to be the person who says this, like one person, or are we moving on from this?
With the first exercise, which is going to be the pull-ups, if I can beat my PR of 2.
Oh, so no, it's another workout video. No example of it, vegans. But yeah, if you're going to make a comment about someone's workout, let me just put in some clips of vegans working out and doing an awesome job. Like, is that your metric of evidence? And again, this is why people hate vegans. What, because they don't do as many reps as you would, or you would like, or that you deem fit or acceptable? Is this why? I'm going to die right now.
Wait a second here. Can he beat his PR's personal record of 2 pull-ups? This is Team Vegan. So he's selling you veganism. Like, look at me. I'm strong like bull. I can do 2 pull-ups, and this is a good thing. I mean, these people have lost. They don't get it. You need the protein and the fats for lots of things.
Please show the evidence that the flesh of animals is a biological requirement of the human body and that we need it. You are making this claim here. Can you back it up? No, you can't. And yeah, he might be really fit. He might just not be someone who does pull-ups. Like, I go to the gym. You know, I do my push day, my pull day. Have I done a pull-up though? Not since I was like 10. So I'd probably have a terrible job of doing a pull-up. But like, I box basically every day now. I go to the gym and I can lift quite heavy, I think, for, you know, my demographic. I'm not sure. This is actually just such a shit video, mate. Like, just a terrible video.
Things to include working out.
Yeah, this guy could be like an ultra fit marathon runner. He could be really good at one specific sport. Put any even like elite athletes, get them to do another sport, get them to do another exercise, and they might be absolutely terrible at it. Like, this is just ridiculous.
It's 2. Good work.
No. Spirits are entangled.
My spirit is running through a cable?
I was trying to be romantic. Like our hearts and spirits are entangled because we're gonna...
What? Why does he keep zooming in on their arms? I'll just show you Conscious Muscle's arms. Just show you Nima Delgado's arms. How about Hench Herbivore's arms? How about Lifting Vegan Logic's arms? Like, this is boring, mate. You said we suck all the fun out, but here I am having to show you pictures of some blokes' arms. They're good blokes, but I'm having to show you pictures of their arms. Like, boring. Like, my God. Show some freaking evidence or something. His arms aren't even small. Is it, like, the way that it's rolled up? Are you offended by material being rolled up? Like, what is this? Help me understand.
Spend forever together.
They always got the classic vegan convert. It's almost like a religious convert. They're worse than organic vegans, we'll call it. And they're so militant. So the boyfriend here will do anything to make the girl happy. So he goes vegan. And what is it with these guys?
Wait, do you know his backstory? Do you know their backstory as partners? I don't know their backstory. They could well, like, one of them could have been vegan. They could have both been vegan. What the f*** are you talking about? It's just like going off on one.
Thin arms, and they roll their shirt sleeves up.
Oh, it's the sleeves. It's the sleeves. Okay, we're gonna make him mad now. Let's go.
Showing off their skinny fat arms because you don't see any definition. You just see like a...
Oh God, I'm gonna have to show you the fucking muscles on the other guys again. Oh God, this is such a boring, painstaking game.
roll of fat around a skinny arm. I'm not getting it, but they're going for a look there. And if you understand the look, let me know.
You may be not getting it because you have no fucking point. That might be why you're like, I don't get it. What is this? This is a video about what everyone hates vegans. You're like, God, they're skinny fat arms. Talking about a group of people who are against the exploitation and killing of animals, and what you focus on is what they look like.
Today is Christmas. For us as humans, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Yet for the majority of beings on this planet, Christmas is a living nightmare. And
wait a second. So now Christmas is a bad thing because people eat meat on Christmas, a ham or a turkey, Christmas goose, let's call it. And they just can't.
Yeah, just listen to the words that come out of other people's mouths, okay? So what he's saying here is, yeah, Christmas is like a really great time of the year. It's the best time of the year. He said that. It's like, but for many animals, it's a horrific time. And you're like, so what you're saying is Christmas is bad now because people eat meat? Oh my God, this is snowflakery. Like, come on. Just to be clear, all right? It's not the holiday itself that's bad. It's the fact that we so intrusively involve other sentient beings and take their lives away from them. There are animals in farms right now who have been forcibly bred into existence. They're being grown up and confined in sheds, and then they'll be killed just in time for this holiday. And because people consume so much and so specifically around this time of year, many of these animals will be killed. But don't worry, we kill over 76 billion land animals every year. So it's not a specific problem during the festive period. It's a problem all around the clock.
Can't stop. They gotta find something always to complain about.
Yeah. You have spent this video complaining about people's arms the fact they fold up their clothing, having pride flags included in the back of their scenery. But darn tootin', these guys just want to complain about everything.
No happiness in their life unless you were eating.
Oh, I'm happy, mate. I'm having a great time. I mean, I'm spellbound, okay? No joy in their lives, no. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, mate, but this world is full of horrific things that happen, and all you can really do is try your best to, act against that. Make sure that you're as happy as you can be as well, and that you give out, the good vibes. The good vibes. And with that, try and be as happy as you can possibly be. Some people manage to achieve it, others don't. It's funny because one of the most lower energy people in this entire video that you've had is you. And the highest energy person is a vegan. Hi.
Eating their shit, and then they're going to argue about how you farm soybeans. And we're supposed to feel like, okay, I'll do it because you beat me down enough. But instead, people get sick and tired of this self-righteous vegan who won't shut up about it. How good they are and how bad.
Well, clearly we need to talk about it more because you seem to have no idea what we're actually arguing about. So, I mean, clearly the message hasn't gone in through the skull. So we have to keep saying it. Was that comment about soybeans? Let me go back.
And then they're going to find something always to complain about. There is no happiness in their life unless you were eating their shit. And then they're going to argue about how you farm soybeans.
Oh no. I think when he heard the Earthling Ed video, he thought Ed was complaining about soybeans. Oh, so you weren't listening. You were too busy looking at Ed's arms. Bit gay, innit?
And we're supposed to feel like, okay, I'll do it because you beat me down enough.
Do what? Do you know what we actually want you to do? Do you know what's going on?
But instead, people get sick and tired of this self-righteous vegan who won't shut up about it. How good they are and how bad you are because you want to eat meat.
It's not an argument about whether or not people are good or bad for their actions, okay? I think that's a more difficult conversation. It's about whether or not the action is bad. We could sit here all day and talk about what makes a good or bad person, okay? But that's a very, interesting meta-ethical question. That's not what the vegans are saying. Vegans fundamentally are saying that it is morally wrong to exploit and kill sentient beings. And it's morally wrong to participate in that system, i.e. by directly paying for it to happen. That is what the problem is. Never mind whether or not you're a good or bad person, okay? That's a whole different conversation. You have no idea what we're talking about, do you? Okay, so that video, this is why everyone hates vegans. I'm sure a non-vegan watching this will hate them even more after hearing me laugh at this guy. What are you gonna do, okay? Veganism isn't about vegans, okay? If you think vegans are so crap and they suck, okay, just be a vegan who doesn't suck. Why do animals have to suffer? Because you don't like a group of people. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And this guy, the vibes are off, okay? I'm sensing there's a lot of hatred in this man's heart, towards specific groups, namely animals and maybe us queers. And there were the 2 comments there. That was a bit sussy, okay? A bit... Anyway, I know this one was long, but thank you so much for sticking with me for it. I do hope you're well. Please smash that like button, and maybe one day I'll be able to talk to this guy. It'd be interesting. We clearly are 2 very different people, so it'd be intriguing to have a conversation together. I doubt that would happen, but you never know. Okay, the offer's there anyway. But yeah, until next time, salads, I will see you soon.